Hello, everyone. Welcome to the SavvyCast. This is Jamie, and I'm very thrilled that you're here today, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast. Okay, I thought that today I would dedicate the podcast or YouTube to Valentine's evening with your loved one. Okay, I have said this before and I'm going to say it again, guys. The most expensive meal other than Mother's Day on Mother's Day is Valentine's at almost any restaurant where you sit down and order. Valentine's dinner is automatically going to be at least double just because it's Valentine's and because the industry knows that that is when most people are going to go out as a couple for dinner. I want to share some ways that you can have a fabulous, special, romantic, and intimate dinner in your own home at a fraction of the price. Guys, you do not have to make reservations, pay more when you can do just as well or better at home. And it's not difficult. So I'm going to get into all of that. I'm going to have everything linked in the show notes. So if you're driving or if you're busy, just go to the show notes when it's over and you can link to all the recipes or any product that I might mention. But I want to start with a few entrees because, of course, that's what most people are concerned about is the entree. And I'm going to list 4 different entrees that are on the blog. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about each. And maybe that will help you decide if one of these is something that you might want to cook for Valentine's Day. The first one I picked because it is very, very popular. And if you'll see, it's got a lot of ratings, all good ratings, and it's a little bit unique. It's not something you cook typically on a weeknight, but most people love it. And it is shrimp and grits. This is a Cajun shrimp and grits recipe. It is super duper easy and it's just a really good meal and it sort of is romantic. It's got a little vibe. So shrimp and grits is one of the things that you could cook. And with that, you can serve, a salad if you like, or you could just have a little appetizer. It's a real hearty dish. So you may just want to put like a crusty artisan bread with it, not even do a salad. But it is a very easy recipe. A lot of people have given it great marks. So check that out. And if that sounds like something that your husband or wife would enjoy, then I hope you'll check it out. Now, I'm going to just address the entrees and then I'm going to address salad and dessert. So I'm going to skip to the next entree. And it's what I will probably be cooking because it's Zane's favorite thing that I make, or it's on his short list, and it's my spaghetti with meat sauce. And my whole family loves it. It's probably one of my favorite things. It's easy because you could make it ahead. You're going to get this a few weeks before. You'll get this episode in time to either make it completely the sauce and freeze it, or if you choose, you can make it a day or two ahead and just stick it in the fridge and pull it out and reheat. It is so easy. And guys, it's a good, hearty comfort meal. It's a recipe that I sort of curated, and after years of trying to tweak my mom's recipe that she got from one of her best friends growing up who was Italian. But anyway, it's just a good, comforting meal. You can make it ahead. You can even, if you just want to go ahead and brown the ground beef ahead, then you'll have that done. And then the day of, you can pull out your ground beef, throw it in the slow cooker with all the other ingredients and make it that way. There are myriad ways to make the spaghetti meat sauce ahead. And if you choose to make that, this is what I do when I make it. I make the meat sauce. I get it in the slow cooker early. You don't want to bide your time well. You don't want to get it in the slow cooker too late because it's got to have long, low, and slow. I say at least 6 or 7 hours allow for that in the slow cooker. And so you're going to have your sauce, your pasta. You can boil your pasta earlier in the day and just reheat it. So you've got that. And I always keep in my freezer Costco rosemary Parmesan bread that's in their bakery. You get 2 loaves. I never am without that in my freezer. So if it's just 2 of you, pull out one of those loaves a day ahead to let it thaw, or early in the day. It'll thaw in a few hours. Slice that, drizzle some high quality EVOO over it, or you can put real butter in between the slices. Excellent. It's so good. So you've got your spaghetti and meat sauce, and you've got your bread. And then I'll mention the salad that I'm going to link to all of these recipes. And then I'm also going to share one dessert that would go with any of these. So we have a shrimp and grits, spaghetti with the meat sauce, and I've got 2 more. This next one is Bourbon Street Bird. Now, this is a very easy chicken recipe. And one reason I mention this, it is extremely easy. It's delicious, and you're not going to find this really anywhere on the internet. I got this from my dear friend, Deborah Hewitt. She's been on the podcast myriad times. She's an artist. She's fabulous. But a mutual friend of ours who grew up in Louisiana said that this was like the recipe of the neighborhood and the community. Everyone loved it, and she shared it with us. So as far as I know, is nowhere other than Family Savvy. It is a yummy panko coated chicken that has this piquant sauce, which absolutely makes it. It's just sort of a Cajun sauce, similar to what is on the shrimp recipe, the Cajun shrimp and grits, but it is absolutely succulent. It's fork tender, and you can serve it over, if you are super duper healthy, you can serve it over cauliflower rice. I serve it over angel hair pasta or egg noodles. It is fabulous, and it's easy, and it's on the block. This last one, this fourth one, if I were a griller, guys, I want to love grilling, and I want Zane to love grilling, but we don't. We love to eat grilled food, but we are not grill masters or smoke masters. But if you are, I have a recipe on the blog that it's a rarity, and I don't think it's out there anywhere else. I've had so many people weigh in the comments. Guys, the Kensington Club is a copycat recipe for Steak and L's famous signature Kensington Club steak. Steak and Ale is sadly no longer a restaurant, but in our early marriage, Zane and I ate there almost every Sunday after church. It was our favorite restaurant, and we both ordered the Kensington Club every single time. This recipe, I think, pretty much hits the nail on the head, but it's my favorite steak of all time at a restaurant. You can make it at home. I do it with filet mignon, but if you are a griller, that would be a fabulous Valentine's dinner for 2. So those are my 4 suggestions that I'm just going to toss out for entrees. Now, guys, I'm just going to throw out my favorite salad, and it's also the easiest salad on my blog, and I cannot imagine an easier salad anywhere. But it's not only easy, it's beautiful. It's, to me, perfect for Valentine's Day because it uses strawberries and a blush strawberry-ish vinaigrette. And it's just perfect. And it goes with anything. It's my easy peasy baby blue salad. I'll link to it as well on the show notes. You can literally make it in less than 5 minutes because you can get your mesclun. You can have your strawberries sliced earlier in the day. You can even slice your strawberries the day before and keep them in the fridge. And then you can buy your glazed nuts. If you live near a Trader Joe's, the sweet and spicy pecans are perfect. If you don't live near at Trader Joe's. You can just get glazed pecans. Brianna's makes a blush vinaigrette that is just perfect. And then blue cheese or gorgonzola. Guys, you just put it all in a beautiful bowl. It's exquisite. I promise you will not get a better salad or more beautiful salad at a restaurant. And I believe it would perfectly complement any of the entrees that I just mentioned. Okay, so we have 4 entree options, then we have a salad, and now I'm going to share a very Valentine-ish beautiful dessert that you can make. And I'm going to show my YouTube friends because you can see, but I'm going to hold it up. This is probably, it's in my top 3 favorite Nordic ware bundt pans. It's the heart shape. And let me tell you why I love this so much, other than it's heart-shaped. I have never had a bundt cake that did not bake up beautifully in this. There's something about the shape. It turns out perfectly every time. Bundts can, the different shapes can determine how things come out, how quickly they bake, or how long it takes them to bake. This pan is just perfect. And you can see the heart, and it's got the ridges that makes it easy to slice every slice evenly. But anyway, if you, and I'll link to it, order this heart-shaped bundt pan, you can make any of my bundt cake recipes that are foolproof, moist, delicious, and totally customizable. What you choose your favorite box mix. Now, I recommend Duncan Hines. That's what I always use. And be very, very careful, guys, because I was in the store today and I noticed that some cake mixes are like 13 ounces. You want to get a cake mix that's the normal size, because if you get one that's like they've cut down the amount, it's not going to turn out the same. So I just always rely on Duncan Hines. My recommendation for Valentine's Day would be to do my strawberry bundt cake. I'll link to it. It's beautiful and it's delicious. And you can glaze it or you can not glaze it. I also have a red velvet. Red velvet to me is more Christmas, but you can do the red velvet, but it also is a seasonal cake mix, so you may not be able to find that in the stores. Strawberry would be my first choice. My second choice would actually be get the white cake, and I have a white cake bundt cake recipe that many people have used for their wedding cake. It tastes like wedding cake because you use almond extract. It's just a rich white cake. And if you do that in this bundt pan, you're going to have a lovely white cake. And what I would do is slice strawberries or get raspberries and just add a little sugar to them about an hour before to let them macerate just a little bit. And then I would fill the heart with the raspberries or the strawberries. And then I would just either freshly whip some cream or get some creme fraiche, or even seriously, just get some squirt ready whip or whipping cream and serve that, like put that around the side, or just slice your cake, put your berries on top, and then put the whipping cream. Beautiful, lovely, delicious. And guys, your cake can be made ahead and frozen, or you can make it a few days ahead and just set it aside. And I would put it in the refrigerator if you made it a few days ahead. Guys, so easy. So most of these recipes that I'm sharing, you can knock them out or prep them mostly ahead, which is great. Okay, so those are the recipes. I'll link to everything. Now, just a few little tips to make it special. And you probably would not get this if you went to a restaurant. Flowers. Guys, look at these, my sweet YouTube friends. Look at these flowers. These are tulips, and thankfully tulips are starting to be seen everywhere. I got these at Whole Foods. They were $14. I think you can get a similar size bunch at Trader Joe's, maybe a couple of dollars less, but anything under $20 that looks this beautiful, I mean, my goodness, you'll just enjoy them for 5 to 7 days. It's wonderful. If you just get a bunch of tulips, now some people associate Valentine's Day with roses. Get your favorite flower, but this little glass vase you can get anywhere, probably Walmart, most retail outlets. I'll link to this one. I'll link to my favorite vases, but just put fresh flowers out. I've already gotten Zane's cards. So I'm going to show you how. Put the flowers out and then prop their card up next to the flowers. And then maybe light a little candle and you have a little vignette. Fresh flowers, card, and candle. Beautiful, lovely, intimate, romantic. Okay, so that was a little tip. Now, for gifts, I just have a few things to toss out. And Zane and I, we're not big gift givers, but anything that just says, I put a little thought into this and into you, that's all you need. So I think the flowers and the card and the candle is probably plenty for most people. But if you want to go a little extra, when we were dating, Zane put a puzzle together. It was just a sweet picture of like a little stuffed bear sitting on a sofa. It was just a sweet, sweet puzzle. It was probably the size of a piece of paper, 8 by 11 or 8.5 by 11. He put it together, and on the back, he wrote a love letter, a sweet letter. And then after he wrote the letter, he broke up the puzzle and he put it in a box, wrapped it beautifully, and mailed the package to me. He was in Montgomery. I was at Auburn University, and I had to put the puzzle together to read the letter. Now, in full disclosure, I am not a puzzle person. That's just not my thing. And I was on the struggle bus. So thankfully, my roommates put it together for me. They were so excited. They couldn't wait to see what it said. But anyway, that is a novel idea. That's one thing you could do if you really want to go out on a limb. Another thing is if you are on Apple Music or Spotify or Pandora, make a playlist that's unique to you and your significant other with songs that bring back memories or that signify special moments and all the time you've been together. So that's an idea, and it's free. And one more thing, if you have, like a lot of us who, especially for empty nest, most of our pictures center around our kids or family pictures. Maybe go through your photos and just pull pictures of the two of you and get a beautiful photo album or just some way and encapsulate the pictures of the two of you. So anyway, those are just a few easy ideas. Guys, I hope that something struck a chord and that maybe it will make your planning for Valentine's easier. If y'all have any suggestions, I would love for you to send them my way. And if I get them in time, I can share them on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, please do. If you're on Instagram, that is where I'm very day-to-day, very able to respond. It's just highly interactive on my Instagram. So follow me there. And if you have any ideas about Valentine's Day, please share them. I very much appreciate all of you, more than you know. And I hope that your Valentine's Day is absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to sign off. But until next time, you have a fabulous rest of your day. Hi, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the SavvyCast. If you'll take the time to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, that would mean so much. As always, thank you for listening and have a blessed day.